The Product Council has been discussing the need for a tool to store and retrieve frequently asked questions about using the Folio system. We're going to test a plugin to the Wiki software called Questions to see if it meets this need. The Questions feature in the Wiki provides a place for sharing knowledge about Folio. The tool works best with questions that have a definitive answer, such as, how do I add a patron group? As you type, the tool looks for similar questions, and you can find one, and if you find one, you can jump right to that question rather than creating a new one. When you ask a question, you can assign it to a particular space in the wiki, such as resource access. There's a box where you can put more details about the question you're asking. I need to add a community borrower patron group where I have choices for undergraduate, graduate, faculty, and staff right now. Give your question tags to further categorize and save the question. From the Questions tab in the Wiki toolbar, you can see what other questions have been asked. Questions with a green check mark have answers that were accepted by the person who first asked the question. In this case, there are 2 answers to this question, and one of them was accepted as the best answer. You can vote on answers that you think are best, so they rise to the top of the list. And if you don't think an answer is correct, you can mark it so that it floats to the bottom of the list. You can also vote for questions that you think are important. This can serve as an indicator that additional user design or documentation is needed for common questions. And you can comment both on questions, such as to ask a clarifying question, or on answers, if you have something that you want to add to this answer. Questions become part of the documentation in a wiki space, and within a SIGs area, such as resource access, you can select questions in the sidebar to read other questions and answers. If there's a question that needs an answer, you can easily add the answer, and the person who asked the question will be notified by email. Check the settings app in the user section for the patron group list. Tags are another way to categorize questions. You can see questions that have been asked and answered and watch a tag to be notified of new questions and answers. The Questions tool has distinct functionality that separates it from other tools such as discuss.folio.org. The voting mechanism built into Questions works well when the topic is something that has a definite right answer. The Questions tool doesn't work for topics that have more than one answer, such as survey questions, or when a discussion needs to occur, such as figuring out how libraries perform a workflow. The Questions tool is good for a single topic, where a Discuss post can explore open-ended issues. So try out the Questions plugin and the wiki and let us know how it works. SIG conveners may want to add a list of questions a list of unanswered questions, such as a meeting to-do item, to be answered. You can add a list of questions to your meeting agenda by selecting other macros and then looking for the questions list macro. Choose the number of questions that you want in a list. Filter by, say, unanswered questions. You can also filter by topics and just a particular space, such as resource access. When you insert this macro and publish the page, it needs a name. You'll see the list of unanswered questions for that particular area and a link to ask a question. Again, try it out. Let us know how it works.